Asia, the cradle of ancient civilizations, a tapestry of diverse cultures, and a treasure trove of the most amazing landscapes. And we're embarking on a journey to see it all. Today, I'll be sharing with you my experience in the vibrant land of Malaysia during our visit to its bustling capital city, Kuala Lumpur. Welcome back, and how was that intro? How do you like that? We are back in the studio. We're back from Malaysia, and today I just wanted to talk about my experience going to Malaysia, going to Kuala Lumpur for the first time from Manila, and it was full of surprises. So I want to talk about my nice experience in Kuala Lumpur, the food that we ate, and just how nice and vibrant Kuala Lumpur as a city is. So we arrived in Malaysia through Kuala Lumpur International Airport, that's KLIA, I think. And my experience with that airport, really, it's an airport. There isn't really much to say about KLIA as an airport. The lines were okay. Process was very efficient. So props to Kuala Lumpur for setting up that airport. On that note, from the airport, I believe the best and fastest way to get from the airport to Kuala Lumpur proper, the city center, would be the KLIA Express. That is a train that travels straight from the airport all the way to the city center of Kuala Lumpur. So if you're visiting Kuala Lumpur for the first time, I highly recommend. It does cost a bit more than a car or a taxi, a grab, but it does get you to the city center of Kuala Lumpur very fast, very efficiently, and without much effort. We didn't need to reserve any seats. It was very spacious. There were a lot of seats for us and our big baggage. So again, KLI Express, very great, very efficient. Now, arriving in the city center, we just took a quick Grab. So if you're not familiar with Grab is the equivalent of Uber or a ride-hailing service that is common in Southeast Asia. So we took a Grab from the main train station all the way to the hotel, and our hotel, which we did not do research of the area of, was actually very good. It was located in Bukit Bintang, which was a fairly developed area. There were a lot of establishments there that catered to tourists and I think foreign people who are living now in Kuala Lumpur. When we arrived at the hotel, we just dropped off our things and did our first exploration of the culture of Kuala Lumpur. Very, very near our hotel was this place called Jalan Alor. I think it is some form of street. But Jalan Alor is really, I think, the best experience you can get as a first timer in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, because it was filled with all of these establishments for food, filled with all of these traditional things you can see in Kuala Lumpur. I myself particularly enjoyed the pomegranate juice, freshly squeezed pomegranate juice that they were selling, street vendors, the side stalls were selling in Jalan Alor. On top of that, one of my Malaysian friends recommended this place called Wong Awa. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, so forgive me. But it was a very nice experience into the food, into the cuisine, the Chinese style cuisine of Malaysia, of Kuala Lumpur. We enjoyed these dishes. Barbecue chicken is what they called it, but I think they were some form of grilled chicken. And some vegetables which were very, very good. The fried rice was amazing. All around the streets were buskers. They were just singing this, adding to the overall atmosphere of that area. So really, this was our first night in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur. It was amazing. It was great. It was a nice introduction into the culture of Kuala Lumpur, of Malaysia. The next day, we had breakfast in this highly recommended place in the area. It was called Feeka Coffee. I'll do my best to link everything that I'm talking about in the description of this video. Feeka Coffee is a highly rated cafe in that area. We had great local coffee, and the vibe, the atmosphere of that establishment, of the coffee shop, of the cafe, really was a great experience for us in the morning of day number 2 in Malaysia. Our objective for day number 2 in Malaysia was to cross something off my bucket list, my travel bucket list, and that is to visit the Petronas Towers, or at least come up close and see it in person. Luckily, the place that we were staying at, and to be honest, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur is a very walkable city, so we just walked from our hotel to all of these establishments, and we just walked all the way to this park, which is called what? KLCC. The KLCC park. We were there, we took photos. It was a very great experience for me because it's my first time in Kuala Lumpur. And speaking of the city being walkable, on our way from the hotel all the way to the Petronas Towers, we passed by a bit accidentally the pavilion. Now, the pavilion is a place where we thought it was just a small shopping center. We were very, very wrong. The pavilion was huge. So the pavilion was a big shopping mall where I think they sold everything there. So it was a huge area. I think it would take you a day to explore all of that. So we decided to come back a different day to the pavilion to do our shopping. And this was all before lunch. Now for lunch, we decided to go a bit more local, a bit more authentic through the advice of one of our Grab drivers. We went to this place called ICC PUDU. Now that place looked somewhat like a warehouse or a building where you wouldn't think there would be food. But when you went in, we were met with all of these authentic, real Chinese, Hainanese food establishments. Now, they were extremely affordable and the food there was amazing. I don't think I took many photos of that area, but really trust me on this. Go find ICC PUDU, eat the local foods that you will be able to find there. I don't think you can go wrong with any of your choices there. Just be adventurous and explore the food. It's gonna be great. Now, the day after, we decided to go a little bit further from the hotel. Still, we just walked. We went to Chinatown, particularly this place called the Lim Kee Cafe. Lim Kee Cafe. Now, Lim Kee Cafe is known for its local offerings of traditional business. One thing that I was a bit adventurous of was the coffee that I got. The coffee that I got was your typical espresso coffee, but in a cup with coconut juice. So that was an experience. It was a really good experience. I think the bitterness of the coffee was well balanced by coconut juice. It was my first time having that combination. It was great. And what we had with that was this, I think it was kaya toast actually. So it's a traditional Malaysian toast that you just have along with some eggs, some boiled eggs. Now that as a breakfast was very satisfying. The coffee, the toast, and the egg. I don't think it's for everyone to have such runny egg, but it was a great experience overall. In that area, it was Chinatown. We just took our time looking around the shops, looking around the streets. It was, again, the Malaysian vibe was very, very vibrant. As we explored that area, we eventually approached lunchtime. For lunch, we decided to go, again, more traditional, more local. We chanced upon this place called Nam Hyong chicken rice. So it was an establishment that served roast chicken, Hainanese chicken, fried rice. And what really drew me to that was they advertise very, very explicitly they are Michelin starred. So this was enough a reason for me to just commit to that area. So we sat there. We had very, very nice Hainanese chicken. The roast chicken there was amazing. I don't typically like roast chicken because people usually cook it and it becomes dry. Their roast chicken was amazing, very, very moist, very, very tasty to eat. After we finished in Chinatown, we decided to just go do a bit of shopping. We went back to the pavilion. Again, you will find everything there. You can shop for anything that you want. But after spending the afternoon there, it came dinner time, and I think this video is just becoming a food discussion, which is fine. For dinner, I decided that we needed to go a bit more adventurous for the food. By adventurous, I mean go further than walking distance from our hotel. So the decision was to book a Grab, again to hail a car. The issue was we couldn't get a ride. No matter how long I waited on the app, no rides came. So instead of just riding that car, riding a vehicle, we decided to try public transportation. Now, public transportation in Malaysia, so good, really. What happens there is you go to the train station, you go to the ticketing machine, and instead of a ticket, you get like this coin. You get like this coin which the machines at the gate just read, and then once you get to the exit, you just deposit that coin into the slot. you're done. Super efficient, super effective. So I think for tourists, this would be a very nice, efficient experience if you're traveling around Malaysia. Also very affordable. I don't exactly remember the price, but it was less than $1 what we spent on one ride for those trains. So after a quick train ride and after a quick walk through an area that is not shady at all, we arrived at the establishment that I was looking for. This place is called Heun Kee Clay Pot Chicken Rice. Clay pot chicken rice is, as the name implies, it's just a clay pot with chicken and rice in it. But the ratings for this place was very, very good, so I did want to try it and see what it was all about. When you get there, you wouldn't have any trouble finding it because they actually grill the clay pots right outside the establishment. It felt like the most authentic thing in the world. If you're gonna visit there, try and visit before 6 p.m. because once dinner time comes, the line becomes very long. And for good reason. The food there was so good. We decided to just share one clay pot chicken between two of us. But right beside our table, I saw that there was just one guy eating the same exact thing. I do think that because it was just so good, one pot would be enough for one person if you really were hungry. Now, we spent the rest of that evening in Bukit Bintang. Again, it was a great vibe of a street. Sadly, all of my devices lost power, so I wasn't able to take much in terms of pictures and video. But the day after, we went back to Bukit Bintang on our last day before we needed to go back to the airport. We went to this place called the Rabbit Hole. Now, the Rabbit Hole was a very nice place. They served amazing cakes. We ate a burnt and a pistachio cheesecake there. It was great. The breakfast there was also good. The coffee was also amazing. I had this like a coffee with some homemade cream. They make the cream in-house, which is very good. I wasn't able to take much pictures. I'll try and find some for you here. But this was an excellent way to cap off our Malaysia Kuala Lumpur trip. Now, this video was just a quick summary of my first time in Kuala Lumpur. I do think that I will be going back just because I had such a great experience here in this country. I do want to explore other things outside of just the things you find in the city. If you have any suggestions, if you're from Kuala Lumpur, please leave a comment down below as to what things might be good for me to try. But regardless of which country you're coming from, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur is such a great place to visit. I do recommend you going there if you just want to experience great food, great and the friendliest people, and overall a very unique experience. I myself come from Manila. I thought it would be very, very similar to where I'm coming from. Since Manila and Kuala Lumpur are both Southeast Asian countries, they are very vastly different. It's a great experience. So again, Kuala Lumpur, 100% would recommend visiting. Show me a thumbs up. I'll see you in our next video.